Welcome back to the show. Well, Kwanzaa will be celebrated around the world, and that includes right here in Ottawa. There's an amazing Kwanzaa celebration happening, and here to tell us more about Kwanzaa and the celebration in general and what you can expect at this year's Ottawa celebrations, I'm joined by Kenneth Campbell. Kenneth, welcome back to the show. Great to have you here.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
From Jaku Konbit, you and I have talked about this before, but for those viewers that are tuning in and want to familiarize themselves with the great work that you do, tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so Jaku Konbit is a non-profit organization established in Ottawa in 2000. So we are family-based, community-based, African-centered, which means all our programs and our services is geared towards the African Caribbean community, but open to the larger member of the community. So over the years, we have established and implemented a number of sustainable programs that support youth around tutoring program. We have a very robust tutoring program that help young people who need academic support in math, English, French, and science from grade 3 to grade 12.
Right.
And we actually work very closely with the two school board to provide a lot of support for a lot of young kids who are struggling academically.
Right.
We also run a mentorship program to connect young people, young black youth in the community with professional individual who can serve as a positive role model, who can assist them and support them with jobs and any kind of support that they need. And we run, as you notice, a very powerful support for senior program called Call Me, Let's Chat. So we're very proud of the work we've been doing. And every year we do this huge community celebration called Kwanzaa.
Yeah, what is the history? What is the beginnings of Kwanzaa?
Kwanzaa started in 1966 in the United States of America, and it came out during the Civil Rights Movement.
Right.
And I think that the focus was to kind of promote the idea of being proud of your history and your heritage and your culture, and to give people of color a sense of belonging, a sense of well-being, a sense that they can celebrate and they can come together as a community. And I would say the whole focus is to promote family, community, and culture, and how important that is, right, around the holiday season. So since it started in 1966, it has actually grown and become more widespread outside the United States in different parts of the world. And here in Ottawa, I love the principle because of my two young boys were very young at the time, and I want them to be a part of a celebration where they can have fun, but they can also learn a little bit about their heritage and their culture.
Yeah, I agree. Does the word Kwanzaa mean something specifically, Ken?
Yes, it does, actually. The word Kwanzaa is from a Kiswahili word. It means first fruit, because the celebration itself is based upon traditional African harvest festival.
Right.
At the end of the harvest, you gather in your crops and you invite your family, your friends, and you kind of share in the bounty, and then you kind of help to rebuild and refocus a kind of a commitment to strong family and building a vital community. So that's where the word Kwanzaa comes from. And usually when we do the Kwanzaa setup, we have fruits to kind of symbolize that idea that its origin. But for us, the fruit would be the labor that comes from the work that the community have done over the year.
Right, right. So how is it celebrated around the world? We'll get to the Ottawa celebrations in a moment, but how is it normally celebrated around the world?
Well, it's celebrated. The best analogy I would use, it's almost like Thanksgiving. You know, Thanksgiving, you bring your family, you have friends come over, you have a nice meal, and it just kind of bond the family together. So Kwanzaa is celebrated that way. And it's celebrated from December 26th to January the 1st, so it's 7 days. It's a one-week celebration. And usually people celebrate through music, through arts, through singing, through dancing, and talk about what the 7 principles of the 7 days of Kwanzaa mean and how it's used to enhance and to build and to foster and to promote a strong sense of community togetherness.
So what will Ottawa's celebration look like? What do you have planned?
It's going to be dynamic. You know, it's open to the whole community.
Of course.
We've been doing it for about 20 years in Ottawa. The last 2 years, as you know, was mostly online because of COVID, but this is the first time since COVID that we're going to be meeting in person. So we're expecting a good turnout. It's going to be taking place, as you mentioned this before, at the Ukraine and all. And so it will involve a lot of local performers, African drummers, cultural dancers, singers, and lots of African Caribbean cuisine, and an explanation of what the value and the principle of Kwanzaa is and why it's important for the community to bond together and to support each other.
And part of that is the candle lighting ceremony,
Exactly.
right? What does this represent here,
So
Kenneth?
these 7 candles represent the 7 days of Kwanzaa. You notice the colors too. You have black, red, and green.
Right.
Those colors are reflective of the community and the vision. So the black candle represent the community, right?
Okay.
Which is the center, and that before you build community, you have to start first with the people. people. The red represent the work and the struggle that comes from hard work during the previous year, and the green is the reward that comes from that. And so that's what the colors represent, and the 7 candles represent the 7 days of Kwanzaa. So each day after celebration, a candle is lit, and they talk about what the principle mean, right? So the first candle, which is the black candle, means umoja, which means unity. And so the lesson there is that in order for us to move forward, to do anything, to be accomplished as an individual or as a family, there must be a sense of collaboration and cooperation and working together as a unity. So that's the lesson, and that's the conversation that is had on the first day. You discuss that with your family, discuss with your
So that's the idea. So each day you share the principle.
Exactly.
Right? And of course light the candle, and then you have this discussion with your family and friends, whoever you're gathering with.
Precisely,
right?
Exactly. So at the big celebration, then we will explain all of this stuff to everyone that comes there, and then we have a great meal and great entertainment, and just kind of recommit ourselves to the sense of working together, that in order for us to be successful, there must be a sense of collaboration, cooperation, and networking, and support of each other, not only within the African Caribbean community, but within the largest society in which we live, because everything is connected.
For the work you do with Jaku Konbit, where does your funding come from? Do you get any government funding?
Yeah,
do you,
actually,
we rely on private
We
citizens?
have a couple of programs that I didn't mention because I didn't have enough time, but we do have funding from the Ministry of Social Services to provide a mentorship program, and also to provide short-term counseling for young people, particularly black youth who are struggling at home and in school. And for this year, actually, the city of Ottawa gave us some funding for the Kwanzaa celebration.
Excellent.
So that kind of helped us to kind of not only put on a great event, but to keep the cost very relatively low so that everyone can come. Because the celebration is geared to the whole family, so it's not just for adults. So we want to make sure young kids and parents and seniors can be a part of the celebration.
Yeah, that everyone's welcome. As you said, it's the greater community.
Exactly.
Ken, it's so great to see you again.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Hey, thanks for being here. Reminder, Ottawa Kwanzaa celebration at the Ukrainian Banquet Hall. That's just on Byron Avenue, by the way. You can't miss it. Beautiful building. And that's happening December the 30th. We'll be back with more right after this.